Good morning. Welcome. And as you come in, settle down. Please take a seat. We're so grateful that you have joined us today in the sanctuary. Please remember to turn off or silence your cell phones and then enjoy our beautiful prelude to help center your spirit and set a wonderful intention for the service this morning. Thank you.
Good morning and welcome. We want to welcome everyone here in the sanctuary today, and also welcome to everyone joining us online. We thank you for choosing to spend your time with us this morning. My name is Chris Camper, and it's my pleasure to serve as the platform assistant this morning. Today, our special guest musician are Kinfolk, and Janice, our music director, will share more about them in just a bit. And today, our speaker is David Overstreet, and his message title is Making the Dream Alive, a Unity Path Forward. So let me tell you a little bit about David. David Overstreet is a longtime spiritual seeker who believes in awakening, healing, and inner divine presence within all of us. His journey has taken him from some very dark places to a life grounded in gratitude, service, and joy. Through meditation, inner work, recovery, and a whole lot of grace, he's learned how the law of mind action shapes everything we experience. David has been part of Unity for several years, and he is on the ministerial path. He also works as Reverend Luz's assistant and has served as prayer chaplain and also served on the board of directors. He brings a deep love for spiritual exploration, synchronicity, music, and the everyday miracles he calls God winks. He's passionate about helping others, remembering who they truly are, and helping them step into their own power with love, humor, honesty, and passion. And he shares today not as someone who has it all figured out, but as someone who is continually growing, learning, and being transformed by divine love. So we're thrilled to welcome David Overstreet as our guest speaker today. So as we begin our service today by lighting the Christ candle, would you please join me in affirming our oneness? There is only one presence and one power in the universe, God in our lives, God the good, omnipotent. And together as we affirm our vision and mission statements. Centered in God, we embrace a world of love, peace, and abundance for all. And then our mission statement, to inspire positive change in our spiritual lives and in the world. And now, Dr. Janice Cusano and Hampton will lead us in our congregational songs.
Thank you, Chris. Well, welcome everybody. And would you stand, please? It's time for us to join in song together with Hampton and I. Would you please sing with us the first congregation song, which is Wonderful Words of Life. Here we go.
Sing them over again to me, wonderful words of life. Let me more thy beauty see, wonderful words of life. Words of life and beauty, teach me faith and duty. Beautiful words, wonderful words, wonderful words of life. Beautiful words, wonderful words, wonderful words of life. Words of wisdom reach my soul, wonderful words of life. Never strengthen and make me whole, wonderful words of life. Dreams of grace and thrilling, fresh and true and filling. Beautiful words, wonderful words, wonderful words of life. Beautiful words, wonderful words, wonderful words of life.
Nice job. And I am the thinker. Here we go.
I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts that changes the things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts that have the power to change my life. If you ask me who am I am wisdom, I am light, I am more than meets the eye. I cannot be defined. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts that changes the things that change my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts that have the power to change my life. If you ask me what am I am beauty, I am joy, I am more than meets the eye. I cannot be defined. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts that changes the things that change my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts that have the power to change my life. Have the power to change my life. Have the power to change my life.
Beautiful job. Please have a seat.
Good morning. It's a wonderful word today. I was reading it earlier and I thought this is just perfect for today. The word is guidance. Created in the image and likeness of God, I have creative power to bring my ideas to life. I choose which thoughts to nurture and grow, and where and how to invest my time and energy. Like a sailor preparing to embark upon the open sea, I do not travel alone. I get clear about where I want to go and what I want to experience and get ready for the journey. I map the course to my goals and make an action plan. God accompanies me as the wind fills my sails and propels me. I hold the rudder
and choose the route, but ultimately it's the wind that propels me. I collaborate with spirit within and feel secure and brave, knowing that I am always supported. With divine guidance to rely upon, I move confidently in the direction of my dreams. And I love this scripture from Proverbs. The human mind plans the way, but the Lord directs the steps.
Well, as we have Josh and Julie come on up in getting ready for their first song, I thought I'd tell you a little bit about them. There's a more detailed bio description in the e-news this week if you've seen it. Josh and Julie are husband and wife duo, and they are from Roanoke. They met here, they fell in love, they started playing music, they got married, and the rest is history. And here they are. They share they share a music that's rooted in tradition, lore, and ancestry. And they describe their music as in the heartland. The Celtic music in the heartland of Appalachian music is an American style with Irish and Scottish roots, where the lilt and twang intertwine like a Celtic knot. Kinfolk has brought this musical lineage full circle. We are so blessed to have them here in this city. They formed Kinfolk in 2018, and then have played at festivals all over the place, Canada, United States. They have won all kinds of wonderful awards and festivals. They were featured on the cover of the largest traditional music magazine in the world, Irish Music Magazine, and was named one of the top Celtic folk bands to watch in 2025 by the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast. And they've received grants, in particular impressive that they've, the National Endowment for the Arts in the City of Roanoke, to create a body of work exploring the history and geography and folk legends of their town. That's Roanoke. The resulting project, Star Above the Mountain, debuted in 2023 on my birthday, June 30th. So anyway, lots of other things to say about Josh and Julie, but right now, would you please welcome them?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, thank you all for having us here today. My name is Julie.
My name is Josh.
And you are too kind to us, Janice.
We planned that actually to be released on your birthday.
So we're going to sing a song for you that actually was part of that project that Janice was talking about, Star Above the Mountain. We wrote a bunch of Celtic music about Roanoke. And this first one is called Song for the Valley. It's about the first time that I ever hiked up McAfee's Knob. How many people have been on that hike before? Oh, you know.
Basically
okay.
everybody.
So you know that feeling when you get to the top and you're just like, wow. Well, okay, that too.
That's what I was feeling.
I was struck with the beauty of that view, and I wanted to sing something for the valley, but at that time I didn't have a song in my head that really worked. So when we hiked back down, I wrote this, and so we're going to perform it for you now. But I think first Josh wants to tell you something about the instrument that's going to be accompanying us.
So I'm accompanying Julie on this interesting piece of equipment right here. This is called a shruti box. It's spelled S-H-R-U-T-I, and it is an Indian meditation instrument. It works by, in a similar way to a harmonica. These white spacers right here can be opened, and depending on which one you open, you can play different chords. And so it accompanies meditation music quite nicely. It's very similar to the harmonium, which I was speaking with some of you out, and you were talking about someone here who plays the harmonium, so I think you'll recognize a similar sound coming out of this.
Is the harmonium player here today? No.
Well, I hope she feels
better.
Yeah. But without further ado, Song for the Valley.
Now here I stand on your stones, 3,000 feet above the sea, with cheeks blushed bright from a mighty climb, and a voice that yearns to sail across the sky. Nothing I can say that you don't already know. A flash of light in a stormy sky, so a human life to a mountain rising high. And so take this song offered here and wrap it in the breeze and spread across the valley wide. Let the music drone from the hills above my home. Thank you very much.
So it's time for our healing prayer, and our prayer chaplains are available for 20 minutes after the service for one-on-one prayer for you or for another in the prayer chapel, which is the room to my immediate right. If you have a prayer request that you would like to leave in the prayer box, there are prayer forms, request forms in the seat pockets in front of you, and these can be left in either the prayer box in the lobby or the prayer box up front, where they will be prayed over here and then sent on to Silent Unity, where they will be continued to be prayed over for 30 days.
I invite you to close your eyes if you're comfortable with that, or soften your gaze as we go into this time of receptivity. We ask, we open, we become willing, and we allow Spirit to express in and through us the love with which we have been gifted to express. We each have wonderful gifts to share that fill our hearts, that comes through our voice, that comes through our thought, our words, and our actions. And yes, from the daily word, we are guided by divine light and love. The mind comes up with the plan, and yes, we allow God to lead and guide us so that the actions benefit all. And as we hold in our minds and our hearts those whose names have been placed in our prayer box, those who are in our heart for healing, for ease, we say, thank you, sweet Spirit. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Margie. Our wonderful Clarissa is not feeling well today, so let's say a special prayer for her today. We'll miss her, if not meditation. So for now, let us join in singing our thoughts, our prayers.
Our thoughts are prayers,
Thanks, Janice. Oh, good morning. Let us begin by getting comfortable. Just let your feet hit the floor. Let your shoulders drop. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes. And let your breath come in softly and leave softly. There's nothing you need to do right now except arrive. Just be here. Just breathe. Take a slow breath in and let it fill you. Gently release. And again, slow breath in and a slow breath out. Allow your whole body to begin to settle. Feel yourself supported. Feel yourself safe. Let your awareness come home to this moment. With your next breath, imagine a warm light beginning to gather in your heart. A steady light, a peaceful light. The kind of light that reminds you that good is always present. Let that light expand gently with each breath into your chest, into your back, into your arms, down through your legs. Let it move anywhere you've been holding tension, anywhere you've been carrying worries or heaviness of the week. Allow this light to soften those places with love. Now bring your awareness to the space around your heart. Let it soften even more. Let it open just a little wider. Remember that the divine lives within you. Remember that you are held by something larger than any fear or any story. Remember that you are here for a purpose. Breathe that truth in. Let it fill you completely. Let it settle deep into your being. And now gently imagine the people in this room, friends, our community, people who are walking their own journeys of awakening. See each person surrounded by the same warm light that fills you. See their worth. See their divinity. See their goodness. And offer a quiet blessing. May you feel peace. May you feel loved. May you know you matter. Now take another breath and let that blessing extend outward. Out of our church, into our community, into our city, into the places that feel forgotten or tense or hurting. Let this be a prayer without words, one rooted in compassion, rooted in hope, a prayer that believes good is still at work in the world. Now bring your awareness back to that heart. Place a hand there if it feels good to you. Feel your own warmth beneath your palm. Feel the life moving throughout you, through you. You are an expression of the divine love and a part of the dream that is unfolding. You are part of the healing that is happening in our world. For the next few moments, let's rest together in the stillness. Simply breathing, simply being. as we return, bring your attention back to your feet on the floor, back to the chair that's supporting you, back to the sounds in the room, and know that the peace that touched you is still with you. It will stay with you as we move into the message. It will guide your listening and your heart. It will remind you who you truly are. Now let's take one final deep breath together and release with ease. When you're ready, open your eyes and let's move forward together. Good morning. Hello, thank you all for being here today. Thanks for the incredible music and our guest musicians here. That was lovely. For the wonderful prayer. And thanks for showing up for you today. I was originally supposed to speak next weekend, which is the day before Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So I'm actually, the talk is going to be centered around that. So we'll have a week to think about it ahead of time. So. No, but I've noticed that each time around this time of year that there's a collective awareness, and within that, like the voice of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. really begins to echo again. And not just across our country, but across our hearts. You know, we hear the familiar sound of his words. We remember the cadence. We remember the courage it took for him to stand where he stood. We remember the tenderness and the fire that he carried. We post his quotes. We share his speeches. We honor his memory. We teach his legacy to our children and our grandchildren, and all of this matters. All of this is good. All of this is important. But if we slow down just a little and allow our hearts to become quiet just for a moment, we might notice something else rising underneath, something under the honoring and the remembering. We might notice a question, a quiet one, a question that does not accuse, but simply invites honesty. Why does the dream still feel unfinished? Why does it still feel like something we are reaching toward rather than something we are living inside of? Why do we still feel this gap between the world we long for and the world we wake up in? Dr. King did not say, I have a memory. He didn't say, I have a complaint. He didn't say, I have a wish, you know. He said, I have a dream, and dreams are alive. Dreams are vibrant. A dream breathes. A dream stretches itself into the future and asks us to follow it. A dream is a living spiritual invitation And today I don't want to talk to you specifically about Dr. King as a historical figure. I want to talk to you more about the dream itself. I want to talk to you about what it asks of us right now. In this time, in this world, in the lives that we each live. Because spiritual truth that stays trapped in books or memories eventually loses its power. Dr. King did not pour out his life so that his message could be admired from a distance. He lived and breathed and struggled because he believed that love could actually transform the world. Not in theory, in reality. And friends, that is exactly what Unity teaches us. One of the central spiritual convictions in both Unity teachings and Dr. King is that good is real, good is present, and good is stronger than anything that rises up against it. This is not denial. This is not spiritual bypassing. This is not pretending the world is prettier than it is. This is spiritual courage. Dr. King looked directly at hatred. He looked directly at violence. He looked directly at injustice. He looked directly at fear. And after looking straight at all of that, he still dared to believe that love would have the final word. One of my favorite Bible verses says something very close to this, and it's in the Gospel of John, and it says, "Do not be overcome by the world. I have overcome the world." Jesus was not saying the world is easy. He wasn't saying it was smooth. He was saying love is stronger. He was saying truth is larger. He was saying that fear and violence do not get the last chapter. Unity teaches that the presence of God, we call God, is absolute good and everywhere present. Everywhere present. Not selectively present. Not occasionally present. Not present only with people who check the right boxes. Which means God is not rare. Good is not fragile. Good is not rare. Good is not dependent on circumstances or politics or the mood of the day. Good is present even when covered by pain. Good is present even when the systems of the world are failing us. Good is present even when human behavior falls terribly short. That's when spiritual teaching becomes demanding. Because if good is everywhere present, then good must also be present in the places we might prefer to avoid. Good must be present in conversations that feel uncomfortable. Good must be present in communities we do not fully understand. Good must be present in people we have been taught to fear or dismiss or judge. Dr. King never denied the reality of suffering, but he refused to believe that suffering was the ultimate truth. He believed that good was present even in jail cells, even in marches where violence broke out, even in the bridges where hatred would try to drown out hope. Even a nation struggling to tell the truth about itself. Friends, if we're going to make this dream alive today, we must reclaim that same spiritual resolve. We must stop saying, this is how things are, and start saying, this is not yet finished. This is not the end of the story. Good is still working. Good is still unfolding. Good is still calling us forward. It's not asking us to rise above the world. Unity asks us to bring divine awareness into the world. God does not bypass pain. Good enters the heart of pain and transforms it from the inside out. At the center of the dream is a truth so powerful it's still controversial. Every person carries inherent worth. Not earned worth, not conditional worth, inherent worth. Unity teaches that the divine nature lives within every person, not because of how they behave, not because of what they believe, not because of what they've achieved, but because life is an expression of the divine. The truth leaves no room for hierarchy of value. Because once we truly accept that every person carries divine worth, we cannot participate in or ignore systems that treat some lives as less valuable. We cannot pretend suffering belongs to someone else. We cannot claim neutrality when someone is being oppressed. Dr. King did not argue that people deserve dignity. He declared that people already had dignity. Injustice was the lie. And this is where spiritual practice can get uncomfortable. It's easy to affirm divine worth in theory. It's easy to talk about it in a room filled with comfortable people. It's harder when we're asked to look again at people we have judged, people who challenge us, people whose stories feel distant from us, whose pain we may not understand, people who may even frighten us. Spiritual maturity is not measured by how beautifully we talk about love. It's measured by how widely we allow love to reach. I want to say that again. It's measured by how widely we allow love to reach. It's measured by whether our hearts stretch beyond what is comfortable. Dr. King reminds us that injustice anywhere threatens justice everywhere. This is not a slogan, this is spiritual truth, because we are one body. And when one part suffers, the whole is diminished. Unity teaches that we are one life expressing in many forms, which means we do not get to say that this is not my issue. If we are one, then all of it is our issue. This is why humanitarian compassion matters. This is why helping those who are hungry matters. This is why listening to voices that have been ignored matters. This is why caring about people who live outside of our experience matters. Not because we're guilty, but because we are all connected. Because we're connected. Dr. King understood something we still need today. Excuse me. Laws can influence behavior, but consciousness shapes culture. Unity teaches us that our thoughts help shape our experiences, not only individually, but collectively. The stories we tell, the beliefs we inherit without questioning, the fears we normalize, the assumptions we make about other people, these become the atmosphere we all breathe. Dr. King understood that hatred could not heal hatred. Violence could not create peace. Fear could not create freedom. He was not weak. He was disciplined. His spiritual life was not passive. It wasn't passive at all. It was powerful. He knew that transformation begins inside. It begins in the mind. It begins in the heart. And it begins in the inner life before it can move into outer action. To make a dream alive, we must be willing to examine our own thoughts honestly, not with shame, but with gentleness and clarity. What beliefs have we inherited without examining? What stories do we tell about people who are different from us? What fears shape our reactions? Why do our assumptions get in the way of compassion? When Jesus was teaching on Sermon on the Mount, he said, "The eye is the lamp of the body. If your eye is clear, your whole body will be full of light." In other words, how you see determines what you experience. Let me repeat that. How you see determines what you experience. If you see the world through fear, you'll see it as frightening. If you see the world through love, you'll become illuminated. If you see through separation, you cannot experience unity. Unity invites us to become aware of the thoughts that separate instead of connect, thoughts that shut down instead of open up, thoughts that react instead of listen. Awakening is not about claiming that we have arrived. It's about recognizing the places inside us that still need healing. Dr. King was not just a man of action, but he was a man of prayer, and not as a way of escape. You know, he seemed to use it as a tool for grounding. He prayed when he knew things were out. He prayed when he knew he was out of alignment. He prayed, and he knew that without inner alignment, the outer work of justice just isn't sustainable. He prayed because he knew his strength not only came from his will, but from God's will through him. He prayed because courage is not an act of the ego, but a spiritual quality. And Unity teaches that prayer is not about convincing God to do something. Prayer is about aligning ourselves with divine truth so that we can become instruments of healing for each other. Prayer without action becomes passive, and action without prayer becomes reactive. Nonviolence for Dr. King was not just a technique, it was a lifestyle, it was a spiritual discipline. A daily decision to let love in and let love lead, even when love was costly. Unity prayer helps us come back to center, back to the truth of who we really are, back to the wisdom beneath fear, and back to the peace beneath agitation. When we pray, we are not withdrawing from the world, we are preparing ourselves to serve it. The dream cannot be carried by anger. Anger can awaken, but it cannot sustain. The dream requires hearts that are continually renewed. So what does this mean to make the dream alive now? Not in Dr. King's time, not in the distant future, but now. In our own lives, it begins closer than we may think. It begins with listening. Real listening. Listening in a way that allows another person to matter. Listening enough for compassion to arise. Listening without needing to control the narrative. It begins with presence, with slowing down. Slowing down enough to notice the people that are around us, to recognize humanity that's right in front of us, to make space for stories that are different than our own. It continues with choosing compassion over convenience, curiosity over defensiveness, presence over avoidance. It looks like caring about someone else's suffering even when it does not touch our own directly. Compassion does not depend on proximity. It depends on our awareness. And it looks like supporting efforts that restore dignity, feeding those who are hungry, sheltering those who have no safe place to rest, and welcoming those who feel unseen. Standing beside those whose voices have been ignored. It looks like using our voices not to inflame, but to illuminate. Not to dominate, but to dignify. Not to amplify fear, but to amplify hope. It also looks like doing the quiet work that no one sees, the work of healing relationships, the work of forgiving ourselves, the work of examining our own biases, the work of choosing daily practices that align with spiritual values. The dream becomes alive when it becomes personal, when it moves from speeches into habits, from inspiration into embodiment, from memory into motion. The dream is not behind us. It's not a relic. It's not a chapter in a history book that we admire once a year. The dream is a living calling. The dream is a mirror held up to our time. The dream is an invitation asking whether we will participate. Unity offers a path forward that's not rigid or mechanical, but deeply human and deeply spiritual. A path that affirms good even when the good is hidden. A path that honors the divine presence in every single person. A path that transforms consciousness so that culture can be transformed. A path that grounds action in prayer. A path that insists truth is meant not simply to be lived, just lived and admired, but to be fully lived and celebrated. The dream is alive when we are willing to live it. Today, may we do more than remember Dr. King. May we continue him. May we embody the love that he trusted with his life. And may we become the answer that the dream is calling for today. And may the world feel it, not someday, not when everything is easier, but now. Namaste.
Thank you so much for that, David. That was amazing.
Hey, let's give him another round of applause, eh? That was fantastic.
And now for something completely different. No, not completely different. This is another song that we wrote about Roanoke, and Josh actually is the one who wrote this one, so I'll let him talk about both the language that you're going to hear and the message that's contained within the song.
So this song is written in the language of Scots Gaelic, and I had some intensive help to make sure I had the pronunciation and the words correctly translated. But it's a song called a push to veil, and push to veil is a Gaelic phrase which means mouth music, and it comes from a time where the Highland bagpipes were outlawed, and there's generally quite a bit of poverty, and so a new tradition sprung up in Scotland where people use their voice to emulate the sound of instruments. And so we did something in that style, talking about Roanoke's geography, and then in the second part of the song, we talk a little bit about Roanoke's growth from a small town into a thriving community that it is today. And I'll share the translation after the song is over. But the Roanoke push to veil. Han bent man kort og Weimar, kort og Weimar, kort og Weimar. The bent man kort og Weimar, lagt na leinen jerish. Han bent man kort og Weimar, kort og Weimar, kort og Weimar. The bent man kort og Weimar, lagt na leinen jerish. And clear road to Moloch, lying to Moloch, lying to Moloch, lying road, get to us a gusketches, down on the Halin. Clear road to Moloch, lying to Moloch, lying to Moloch, lying road, get to us a gusketches, down on the Halin. Han bent man kort og Weimar, kort og Weimar, kort og Weimar. Han bent man kort og Weimar, lagt na leinen jerish. Han bent man kort og Weimar, kort og Weimar, kort og Weimar. The bent man kort og Weimar, lagt na leinen jerish. And clear road to Moloch, lying to Moloch, lying to Moloch, lying road, get to us a gusketches, down on the Halin. Clear road to Moloch, lying to Moloch, lying to Moloch, lying road, get to us a gusketches, down on the Halin. The bent man kort og Weimar, kort og Weimar, kort og Weimar. The bent man kort og Weimar, lagt na leinen jerish. The bent man kort og Weimar, kort og Weimar, kort og Weimar. The bent man kort og Weimar, lagt leinen jerish. Vaiku a train a G&J, Gagas Guludrum, High Pets and Pekka Falla, Kacha Chain, Baliak. Vaiku a train a G&J, Gagas Guludrum, Pets and Pekka Falla, Kacha Chain, Baliak. Kunikin a Skulahan, Hulavan. Can you hagen, roan up a Yokabra? Kunikin a Skulahan, Bound Bell, can you hagen, roan up a Yokabra? Go a train a G&J, Gagas Guludrum, High Pets and Pekka Falla, Kacha Chain, Baliak. Go a train a G&J, Gagas Guludrum, High Pets and Pekka Falla, Kacha Chain, Baliak. Kunikin a Skulahan, Hulavan. Can you hagen, roan up a Yokabra? Kunikin a Skulahan, Bound Bell, can you hagen, roan up a Yokabra? Pike go a train a G&J. School of Drum, high, but the Becca Falla, cut your chain, Ballyak. Go a train a G&J, got school of Drum, high, but the Becca Falla, cut your chain, Ballyak. Good again, school of Han, full of bound. Can you hagen, roan up a Yokabra? Good again, school of Han, bound there, can you hagen, roan up a Yokabra? Skulahan, Bullavan, Del Kunyahagen, Roan up a Yokabra, Kunikin, Skulahan, Bullavan, Kunyahagen, Roan up a Yokabra. Thank you so much. Quick translation of that. The first half of the song is about Roanoke's geography, which means the mountains are all around the city. And the last line is, a lake lies to the southeast, and a lot of it's just repeated before then. And then the last part of the song translates as, can you hear the train coming, smoke and coal upon its back? Older towns faded away, where has Ballyhack gone? And that's a reference to an old community, Ballyhack, which sort of got lost as Roanoke grew and incorporated. So sometimes in the process of change, we lose some of the things that we started out with. And then the song ends with, remember the stories, and remember the stories that came before. For what we remember, Roanoke will live forever.
What a treat to have you here today. Thank you. So it's that time in our service to prepare our offerings. We invite you to share your gifts this morning with gratitude and love. We sincerely appreciate your generosity. Would you kindly join me in saying our offertory blessing? Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I am open to receive. Thank you, Father, Mother God. people want to get up and dance. I think we want to dance. Would you please join me as we affirm our blessings and abundance? Unity of Roanoke Valley is abundantly blessed. Creative people are drawn to us. Divine ideas flow through us. Financial resources bless us. And we accomplish mighty works together. Amen. All righty, have a few announcements. First off, our board rep today is Andy Fisher, and Andy's back here. If you have any questions or comments for the board, Andy will meet you out in the lobby, and feel free to share any feedback or messages. We also have a meet and greet. We encourage you to stay after service and enjoy fellowship and snacks. And then our meet and greet is to get to know the 6 candidates who are running for the board of directors. So we'll have that about 12:30 back here in the sanctuary. Joni? Oh, we're going to meet and greet in there. Thanks, Joni. So meet and greet is in fellowship. Our annual meeting is coming up on January 25th after Sunday service. We also have a new members class that starts next week on January 17th. That's a Saturday, and it runs from 10:30 to 2. And it's open to anyone interested in learning about Unity principles, the history of the Unity movement, and Unity of Roanoke Valley. It's also an awesome refresher for current members. Lunch is provided. There's a sign up, and there's no commitment. You don't have to become a member if you don't want to. So, also wanted to let you know about the bookstore with Clarissa being ill today and Joe not here, and our other bookstore volunteers are unavailable today, so we have very limited bookstore, if any, bookstore today. We also encourage you to check out the fellowship hall for all the sign-up information in there, and there is also a weekly e-news that comes out every Thursday. So if you would like to sign up for e-news, you can sign up for that in the fellowship hall as well, and that contains just a lot of announcements of what's going on in Unity. And now it's time to bring our kiddos in. So if you brought a child with you to service today, we invite you to come forward as we sing them in.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Good morning. Please be seated. We had so much fun in YFM today. We started our new curriculum, Avatar, Awakening the Spirit Within, the 4 elements of spirit. So we've got a couple of kiddos that are going to read some slips for us, and we're going to start right here with Ferris. Come here, buddy.
Just like the Avatar, I am on a journey to discover my divine potential.
All right.
Okay. And Roman.
I have a special power inside me, ready to be awakened.
And Emma. Where's Emma? There she is.
I'm a child of spirit, full of light and love.
So each week our kiddos are going to be exploring the 4 elements of spirit, and they're also going to be learning Tai Chi movements. For our multi-gen service, they're going to be teaching you Tai Chi movements. So make sure you keep coming back and you're here for our multi-gen service in March. I'm super excited about it. We've got a couple of quick announcements. We are in need of drink donations, preferably water or non-sugary drinks for YFM, please. And we are planning a family fun day for Valentine's Day. So there's going to be more information coming for that. Thank you so much for supporting YFM. It has been an absolute joy.
It's snowing outside. Wow. Thanks for pointing that out, Art. All right, everybody, the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Appreciate you.